Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Cardcraft. Thanks for joining me again today. So we're back with our altered book and back with the design team project for WhichCraft Do You Do. The kit that I'm using today is Tall Journaling Card Set 1. It is one of their newest ones. Don't forget, you can use my link when you go in there and get 25% off all their digitals. So you'll just need to put in the code when it has for, code at your checkout, Kylie 2024. It'll all be in the bottom of this video anyway, and you'll get, as I said before, 25% off all of their digitals. Right, back to our altered book. She's starting to become a gator mouth, but this is what I want to do today. So I'm doing a stacked belly band with the other page as well, with a journaling card on that one. This is a lovely set. I really like this set, and again, as per WhichCraft Do You Do, so many colours. You've got your general theme and then so many colours for it. So whatever colour you're working on, you will find it in there and you'll be able to use it. They also come with this one with background pages, so plain pages that will match each of the colour schemes that you're wanting to do. Hang on, and I'll just pull it out here. So new, I haven't even had a chance to put it into their folders yet, so I've just got it sitting in here. Let me just grab some out for you. This is the kit, and you'll see in here, hang on a moment, I've got in here background pages. There they go. So lots and lots of different background pages to go with whichever colour scheme you're wanting to use. So you can see some of these, they are just adorable in the smaller versions and the taller versions. I am also using a couple of their freebies. Now, WhichCraft Do You Do also have freebies in with their digitals, so completely free. And I'm using a couple of those as well. So make some room there. There we go, there we go, there we go. Right, I'm not thinking. Yep, here we go. So the freebie that I'm using is Postcards and Ephemera. I've written down that this was a freebie, so I reminded myself, and it has this beautiful large postcard that we're actually just going to cut out and fold in half. So we've got our front and our back. It's got this lovely strip of lace that we're using for our belly band and a little bit of ephemera. Now, on the same download for this freebie, you'll also get a second version that's in the softer colours with the butterflies. We all know how everybody loves butterflies. So there's the two versions in this freebie set. How beautiful are they? Absolutely gorgeous. So that's those ones. What we're going to do is start our book. So I'll push that one to the side. Right, and we're going to go to the book we're working on today, because remember, we're doing two of these books. So, of course, one page I've already just popped our background in, and because that's already done, I want to show you how we're going to do the other one. So this is our background. You'll find it's a pale blue, few specks of colour through it. And I've already cut this one down to size. So it's cut down and I've inked around. But I don't want it just that very plain. I want to give it a little bit of oomph to it as well. So, I need more room on my desk. So I'm just going to get out my piece of stamping foam. And I'm going to sit it on here. And I want to use a background stamp. So I'm using one of my darkroom door ones at this stage. Now this is layered handwriting. DDBS078, and it's a large stamp, large. Okay, it's a rubber one, but because it's so large, I can do this without having a block. Okay, I'm just going to stamp it in the archival ink, which is the tree branch one, because it's that nice pale brown. You'll see me using this one regularly in most of my videos, so I'm just going to go down, ink that up. Remember, don't swipe. It'll fill up all that beautiful fine work. putting that one there, turning this one over, straightening it up a little bit because I'm working on an angle, and I'm going to go above the page a little bit just to make sure I've got it. Try not to move it, and I just want to push it in certain areas, not all the way down, because I want it a little bit motley. Okay, so now I'm going to lift it up, do the same thing again, and just go. That's why I like the really large background stamps, because I only have to do them once or twice depending on which size around that they go. Put that one back in, turning this one over, straightening him up again. I'll go just above where the writing finishes and down. Give it a few pushes in different areas to make slightly darker areas, slightly lighter areas, and now we've got our full background page done. So I'll just pop that one away. So that's all I want for my background page. Whoops, got too much in there. Again, way too much in there. Right, and I can now attach this to my book so that it's ready to go and we can start working on it. As I said before, I've cut this down. This is that one page, the A4 page that I've printed out, and it fits both pages of my Reader's Digest. So I'm going to use a combination of double-sided tape and my glue, just my glue stick. But what I'm going to do, so that I don't have to go all the way around it, I'm just going to cut 4 pieces, which will give me my corners, because they're the most bits that tend to want to sit up with your glue. So just on all 4 corners, working your way around. You'll see that I'm going around to get a long one with each side. Need to move that while I glue it. Grab my glue book, or part of a glue book, or, you know, a glue sheet, I suppose. I'm going to peel off my backing first. On that one. Give him a push if he doesn't want to come up. There we go. Now, remembering which way round that was, which was that way, I'll just grab my glue stick and we'll give it a good solid gluing. Straight over that double-sided tape. It'll mean that the tape will hold down beautifully, but it'll allow you a little bit of wiggle room when you're putting your tape, when you're actually putting your whole piece on your page, so that the double-sided tape won't grab straight away. Move that one to the side. Pull out our book again. Make sure I'm up the right way. I've turned it round. There we go. And I'm going to start up in this top corner as per normal. Just see how it's allowing my double-sided tape to still give me room to move. All right, flatten that down. I'm a bit crooked, but then I'm always a bit crooked. Right, give that a good push. That's all done and dusted now. So now we can get on to the rest of it. We're going to allow that to sit there and dry because it's a little bit damp. And I'm going to sit this one over here. I'll move that one out of the way. Sit this one here. Too much. Sorry if I just knocked you. Trying to get round the legs of my tripod. Now, under here, drying flat, is my postcard. So I've already glued that, folded it in half, glued it, and just glued it closed, and then sat it straight under there while it dried. It's still a little bit damp, but it means that I can then, it's sitting and going nice and flat. Quite often you'll find with your glue sticks, they'll want to curl a little bit. So if you've got time, glue them, pop them under your mat or a book that's beside you, because let's face it, none of us have any books, right? Pop it under a book, just something to flatten it out. So now I'm just going to go round where my corners or edges don't quite meet. You can trim them up, or you can just go straight round with your ink. Just gives it that fuzzed edge again. So we'll do that on both sides. You can always add more embellishments to your postcard. For this one, I'm just going to leave it straight like this because I love everything about this postcard. It's just beautiful. I love the colours. This was the reason why I went with the blues for the rest of that kit. Right, so there's my postcard, nicely done. He will just sit straight in. What I want to do is, here we go, is I want to use this one. So again, I've picked the one with the blues. So it comes in, you know, different colour ranges. There's my pink one. But what I've done page-wise for this one, hang on, let's see if we can find the page that it is. I did have them organised. Oh, I can't tell. I don't know. So there's my backing page that I want to use for this. So what I've actually done is, no, that one. Don't have another one of it. I've printed so many of these out. There's like, again, 130 or something in the kit. Right, so that's our backing page. But what I wanted to do is that, and then I've put it back in my printer again. So I've printed this one out, popped it back in the printer, top side up, printed one of the backing pages that match this. And so when it's come out, it's got it on both sides. Saves me having to glue the two sides together. And look, you probably all do that anyway, but every now and again I remember to do that, and I'm thoroughly excited that I've remembered to do that. I know. As you can see, the background page covers all of it. So we're going to trim it down to this size. So we're just going to work our way around, trim the whole thing round. Now this was page 22. I wrote this one on. Right. So this was the one I was looking for, wasn't it? And that's why I didn't have it in there. Page 22. Nothing wrong with me. That another good shot of coffee won't fix, I'm thinking. All right, so that's all done like so. I find it's a little bit easier with my scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, don't fret. You can always just do this with your ruler. But I'm going to do it with my scoreboard to get a nice solid one. So I'm just going to set my scoreboard here. And I want to concertina this, okay? So that it's going to sit in like that. So what I'm going to do is line each of these lines up with a point on my scoreboard. You can see the top of my scoreboard there. Beautiful. So I'm just going to run this down. Now I've done this, printed this on presentation paper because it's that little bit thicker than your normal copy paper. Copy paper is about an 80 GSM. I'm not quite certain what that is in your other measurements. Presentation paper is about a 130 GSM. So I'm just moving this along so it's dead smack in the middle for me. So I find the presentation paper for something like this works better. My backing sheet that we just did was just done straight on copy paper. That's all I needed to do. So I've now got my score lines in there. Right, so first one, just going to fold him over, push him down. I'll just use another bone scorer or something like that just to give that a good push. Now I'm going back that way. So this is why I like to have my scored lines in there from my scoreboard. If you don't, as I said before, you can just fold them over. These lovely lines are already here for you. And then my last one is going back here again. Okay, so now what I have is this wonderful little concertina and all this beautiful journaling space on the inside. Okay, give that whole thing a nice solid push. Now I want to ink around this one just to give it that more brown colour because I'm using my brushed corduroy just so that it ties in with my background page, and it's more of the colour that I'm using. It's got this nice toning on the edge anyway, but I want it just to match in with the one that I'm using. So I'm going to go around the inside as well, so that it's all got that distressed edge look. I'm not tearing anything. I'm not putting in extra colour or anything else. I'm just literally going with that. Just bend that back a little bit on itself, and I can go up and down these. So see how that's now defining my folds and my edges. It is literally, it is a personal choice. For me, I feel to finish most things off, I need to ink them, but that's a me thing, and I've been doing that for years. You can't teach an old dog new tricks sometimes, most times if it's me we're talking about, so we're just going to stick with that. I'm going to go around the same on this side. That one's been done. That one needs doing. I'm just rubbing it down there. And I've re-inked my brushed corduroy at the moment, so it's nice and juicy, and I'm going to get all of that done in the one lot. Whereas before it was starting to get a tad bit dry and we'd miss out on it. Right, so that's all that done. What I want to do with this guy is I want to put some reinforcers in there. Now, because we're going to wrap some lace around it, you can always purchase reinforcers. You'll find them in stationery shops. You'll find them in the $2 shops. You'll find them lots of places. You also might be able to, these ones are dies. So I know Tim Holtz has a couple of dies with the page reinforcers, and Uniquely Creative, an Australian company, they have some dies with the page reinforcers. But sometimes that's not always doable. We might not have any of those while we're working. What most of us have are hole punches. We use them all the time to put ribbon in our tags and all the rest. So what I'm going to do is go back to that little doobie. I've got just a piece of cardstock. So it's just a craft cardstock. I don't know, normal weight for cardstock. And I'm going to find the stamp that I want. Here we go. Just another little script stamp. Doesn't need to be big or anything else. And I'm just going to pop that on there. And I'm going to stamp down here. Now I'm going to use a grey with this one. I did play around with some browns, but I ended up liking it in the grey. So this is just VersaFine in Morning Mist, they call it, which is just a grey. Popping that on there, and then I've got that there. Doesn't matter that it's upside down, truly, because we're going to turn it into circles anyway. Pop that one back, pop that one back, and pop that one back as I go, and then I'm going to be right, aren't I? Right, so I'm going to actually use my, I don't know, whatever they're called, hole punch from that. I've got lots and lots of different hole punches, but I find these days when I'm watching people and I'm talking to people and all the rest, most of you have this. I've only just got mine. I've finally given in and done it. What I'm using is my larger one, which is 3/16, because I want a hole big enough to actually pop some lace through. So I'm just going into this. Where's my larger one? Down there. I'm just going in, and I'm going to go somewhere in the middle of all this. We might go up this end to start with. I find it's easier making the centerpiece of the tire first. So just like that. What we're going to do with this, again, see, and now we go to really old ones. Had this one, and it would have been a really cheapie to start with. The size of it, I don't know, is round. bit over 1 centimetre, not quite 1/2 inch. And we're just going to sit it on. You're going to line it up or as close as you can. Is that in shot? Yep. So that this hole that you've just made, your little hole, is in the middle of this. If your punch works really well, you can just carefully push it down till it's just grabbing, and then move it, and then line it up beautifully and push it down. I don't. With this one, it's, as I said before, it's an old punch. So I need to align it up properly. Close to. And then just close my eyes and hope for the best. Some of them are going to be wonky. But because we're putting lace through it, or ribbon, or whatever else, it's not going to make that much difference if you end up with a slightly wonky one. Okay, so now we'll punch our next hole. Popping that one in. Lining it up. It usually helps if you're dead over this so you can see exactly what you're doing. How's that? That better? It looks very wonky from this stage. That one's better. So we want 4 of those. And I tend to do one at a time, because if I just punch my small holes, I will never have them in the right spot. Never. For where I need to punch the big ones. So there's 3. One more. And this is why you didn't need a really big piece that's script. It could be a script digital. It could be just a piece of book page. Book page works well. I find with book pages, you want to go for a fairly thick... Oh, that one's way out. Doesn't matter. You want to go for a fairly thick book page. You don't want this too thin. You've got to remember that this is reinforcing your paper. You need it to be fairly thick to hold that all in. So what I want first is just to, again, go around these with the ink, which takes that little bit of wonkiness out as well. Your eye's not drawn to the fact that it is completely out of whack. And if you spend more time with it, you'll get them right. If you're doing a video, you will get them wrong. It's as simple as that. That's just Murphy's Law. All right. This is why my nails are always brown. Okay. So I'm going to have my wonkiest ones at the front and at the back, not the inside, because it's those ones that are covered up with the lace. If that makes sense. So I like this just in here. I've got that needs to go the other way around. I've got oodles of room where this sits. Okay. So I'm going to sit it up a little bit just so it's not quite in the centre. And what we're going to do is glue this in to start with. It's easier to glue it in. If you've got tweezers, grab yourself some tweezers to hang on to it. Right, bit of glue. Sitting it down about there, so it's not right on the edge. And then what we're going to do is repunch that, line it up in it, so that we can see where we need to put the one on our other side. Okay. Bit of glue again. Like so. And this time we can just line it up. Like that. Now I want the same on the back, so what I'm going to do on the back is I've folded it all back over. Lining this up. And I'm going to punch through that again, so that my hole is completely lined up with both of them. This is actually where I find that I work best with normal punches, because this is so big that I can't really see exactly what I'm doing. But I'm getting better with it. So I suppose it's just practice. It's like anything. It's just practice. This one's going to go in here. All right. Straight over again. Like that. And our last one on the back. So here's our last one. And he fits in that typewriter beautifully, and I haven't covered anything up. All right. There we go. So they're all now reinforced. That will fold back round like that, and it gives us something to tie it all together. What I want to do inside this one, so if I pull out my finished one over here, you'll see, here it is, all tied together. We've got some lace, which just wraps around a couple of times, and inside we have that. That's what we're going to do right now. It is so easy to do. Now, these are all off that freebie sheet as well. So, I've got this one, and our lovely little stamps. Now, with the stamps, what I did, here it is, was I used an old pair of decorative scissors, but it's got this sort of effect. So you can cut round them by all means, by hand, but I'm a little bit lazy. You can see that it doesn't exactly match. I wouldn't worry about it, okay? Just, again, I will ink them, and it takes that eye away from the fact that they don't actually match. You can still see white, but because I will ink the edges, it's not quite so in your face, I suppose. And then just through the centre, like that. This one I'm going to trim down a little bit more to make it the right way around. So you watch now, just lightly on that. See how it takes that stark white away? And they're done like so. Just like that. Right, so we'll clean up some of this mess. We're getting another, oh no, I want to cut that one out. I want that one in here as well. So I'm just going to loosely cut around this pretty lace. As much as I like this in the square, I found that my little heart on this side worked so much better cut out. But again, you can see I'm not really cutting beautifully around it. Just giving my vague outline. And then again, if I just ink around the edges, it takes your eye away from the fact. Okay. So, nice and easy. We're just going to pop that one up there. I'm just going back to my original one here. Right. So this one I'm going to just stick straight down. Again, I'm just going to use any glue, any that works. The first one you pick up, glue stick, normal glue, Mod Podge, matte medium, any of those sorts of things. Right. And that one's going to just sit up here on an angle. This one, I want one of these in here. Go that way. Gluing that one down. And then what we're going to do is pop some lines. Now lines, there are so many stamps out there that'll have lines on them. I've got different ones that have different sizes and all the rest. That's that one. My other one I'm popping here like so. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of different stamps out there with lines. Otherwise, you can always just rule them in. I look, for a lot of years, I ruled them in. Forgot completely that I had all these stamps. I even went and bought a stencil that had all these lines in it, but I didn't like using that. The lines weren't fine enough for me. They were a little bit thick. And then remembered I had all these stamps. I've had more since then. But the one we're using today, which is under here somewhere, is an old WhichCraft one. It's, and I mean old, it's probably about 15 years old. I can't remember what set it came from. It may have been one of the school ones. But it actually worked a treat and fitted in here. So that's what we're going to be using. I'm going to sit this one on here. I'm again going to use the tree branch because it's nice and pale. Just gives me my hint of colour. I'm going to turn that round so that I can actually see where I'm going. I want to go near my stamp, but not over it. This might not be dead straight because I'm not looking directly over. If you find that you're a little bit wonky with your stamping or whatever else, stand up. It works so much better. I don't want that bit on this one. Just wipe that off. And that one's going down there. Came out a bit darker than I wanted. I wanted that so that it's looking old and all the rest. So this one I'm going to go all the way down, but I'd like one of these ones, again, off the freebie. It all matches with this set beautifully. So, what was this set? Tall journaling cards. It's just, oh, you're going to have so much use for it. So this is going to sit in here. Again, we'll glue that down. Glue that way. Do like my tweezers. These tweezers are the reverse tweezers. So just, I don't have to hang on to it, and it hangs on to it for itself. I'm just going to pop that one in there like that. Round about even. Try to be straight. And now this time I want this section on here. I've got a big Tim Holtz one as well that looks like it's torn out of a notebook. Really like that one, but it's a little bit too wide for this. So this time what I'm doing is sitting that up in there like that. Might as well go that darker for the rest of them. All right. So this time I don't want that section. So I could have masked it, popped some washi tape over it or something like that. But I'm taking those ones out, mainly that bit. So I'll just line that one up with that one. Hope that I'm in line. Fairly well in line. That doesn't look too bad. Going to do the same with this side. And then we'll work on where our heart is. Knocked everything, didn't I? So I'm going from my stamp up this time. That's that one. And again down here, so I don't want that section in it. So I'm just stamping it. And now I'm just going to wipe just to make sure I haven't got that bit on it. And we'll go straight down. I don't think that's straight. No, not too bad. Not too bad. Right. So we've still got this one, Kylie. And I just want the one in this one. I knew I'd forgotten one. Look at that. I'll have all of that this time. So it's just the one line to stamp. And it's just going to do everything. So going down, but I'm starting a little bit further down this time, giving my heart lots of space. Always good to give your heart space. Lovely. Look at that. Pop that one aside because I won't need that anymore, I don't think. Let me have a look at that. Nope. Right. Got a few more things to do to this one. But what we want to do is go back to our book. Now that that page is dry, put our lid on our glue and check the time. 35 minutes. See what I mean about how they like to curl? They're fine once they dry and once you pop something on this side, but to start with they want to curl, which is why I popped my postcard in. So we're going to have some lace across here. We're going to use this as our belly band, and we want our postcard, which I've moved. What did I do with my postcard? There it is. Right. My postcard's going to sit in here like so. This one's going to sit in here, and it's going to go right to the bottom of the page. I want my belly band to come just under where my reinforcement piece is. Okay? So if I set that in there straight, because the lace, where it's in a bow, will hold it up over the belly band. So if I go there to there, I'm just going to mark that bit and that bit. They can be chopped off. Oh, so much mess again, Kylie. Can anyone find where I just made a mark? Oh, way up here. Way over there. Right. That should, yep, beautiful. I'm going to pop that punch away so I don't get that confused with anything else. Again, I'm going to ink along here just to tie it all in together so that it all matches. Right. I'm going to bring this one back over, and what I'm going to do, because I want this belly band in a certain position, that'll sit in here, that'll sit in there, because I like it sitting up. I'm going to pop my glue on here. Very just on the edge if I can. Work out where I need that. Just like that. Got that side in. Now I'm going to take these out so that when I'm adhering it, it's nice and flat and tight. Now we can pop some on this end. Like so. And smooth that out so that it's nice and tight. I'm going to pop just a clip on that. I'm going to close that while we go back, while that dries, and we can go back to this bit because I want the rest of that belly band. I just want to make a small little pocket in here. So if I want that to go there to about there, yep, and we will put the lid back on the glue, set that there, and trim down that one. Right, this one I'll ink around as well. Like so. Right. That's going to just go straight in there. I only want a little pocket just to tie it all in together. Down that. Try and lift it up. Tear it down. I want it fairly far down the bottom of the page. Right. I'm just squeezing that forward a little bit because I want a little bit of a lip on that one. It's not like my belly band. Now, what I want to do in that one is I've just cut a photo out of a book. And I've got a piece of plain blue. Well, this one is a bit of a pearl blue. It's just scrap blue that I had sitting around. And I want her on that because at the moment she just kind of disappears in there. So I want it so that she's got this deeper blue with her. Now this pocket, I can end up getting away with 2 inches there. I think she's about 1.5. Yep, 1.5. So I'm going to just snip that at 2 inches. Oops, sorry. Sorry. So, 2 inches. I'm actually going to straighten that first. Why is that crooked? Told you they were scraps. So, 2 inches. Fairly thick piece of cardstock. They don't need to be that thick. And I want her to have about that. So I'm just going to sit her on there and work out where I want to chop that so that she's got an even border all the way around. Roundabout. Ooh, about there. I can make her smaller if I need to. So this is my lady. This is on that. So what we've now got when she goes in there is that. See how she stands out a little bit more? She doesn't get lost in it. What I want is some little gold corners. And I had them. I had them. What did I do with them? Please tell me I put them in here. Now, I've had these for years and years and years. Little paper gold corners. I know, right? Knew I'd use them if I kept them long enough. And I want them up there. So can you see at the moment, though, if I put them on there, it's not really holding my photo in. So I'm going to trim my backing just a little bit, just so that it will then hold those. They don't have to touch it very much, just a little bit. So if I just go in just that much to start with, and a little bit at the top. Right, well, let's see now. So she's going to sit in here like so now. Let's have a look. Yep. See how it's just touching it? All photo corners are going to be slightly different sizes, which is why I've given you a main size and then we've trimmed it down accordingly. So we can glue her on. Straight around. Look, you can use double-sided tape, you can use glue, anything you like. What is it? Whatever floats your boat. Grabbing that again though, so I don't put glue all over me. And I don't mind if she's up a little bit, with a little bit more at the bottom. Because these are my main focus. That is just touching it, so I'm happy with that. Glue on those. Look, you might have some that are already pre-stickered. You might have a die to run through a die cutting machine in them. You might actually have proper photo corners that you've found that go with the old-fashioned photo albums. So, you know, you'll find them. Oh, look, years ago I had a punch that actually did these corners. Wonder where that is. There you go. That's something to look out for, isn't it? One there. One there. Tuck her in there. Now look at her. She's been given that little bit of class now. Nothing like a bit of gold to give you class, is there? Here's this one. We need some lace, which I have sitting in my little box of tricks as well, supposedly. There it is. A lace that is going to be long enough to go round and to tie. So what I'm going to do is go from there. I'm going to wrap this around a couple of times. I can resort myself. Give it a longer edge to tie. Turn that up. I don't know. We'll have a look in a minute, I suppose. I think. Let's have a look and see how much lace we've got, will we? Let's have a look. I'm going to have to work in centimetres. That's 30. About 51 centimetres. So I'm going up, over, and then I can scrunch it all down. And we're just going to tie a bow in this. I'm going to tie upside down so that all my tails hang out the right way. I'm not tying a knot to start with, just tying a bow. I don't want to make it hard for somebody to try and get into. The whole point is to easily undo something, and which will mean that you'll want to go in and see what's floating on the inside. Oh, that didn't work. Go that way. Right, there we go. So what that'll do is now we'll pull out our belly band. That'll be nice and dry. I can tuck my postcard in. This is still a little bit curved, so it's a little bit light on at the moment. Pull you down like that. Tuck you in like that. And then my bow will hold it up like so. So that's that side. This side, I love this one, which was off the rest of that freebie sheet. I want him up about here somewhere. And I want another one of these, but I want to bring in a little bit of pink now. So I'm going to use one of these ones, which is the smaller versions of them all. So they came in that one across the top, and they come in this one. So I'm going to use this one here. I'm going to just cut that out and turn that into a pocket. Okay. I can put that lace away. Look at that. I like it when we put things away. We need to move a little bit quicker, Kylie. So I like this sewing one. Any of these will work. I just, the pictures is probably a slack way of saying it. The pictures are just beautiful. All right, that's that. Chop off that last little bit down there. Give that a little bit of an edge as well. Like so. All right, just a little bit. This one we're going to glue in as well. So I want that about there. This one up there. And of course, this is me. I want a little bit of cheesecloth. Let's go with the dark. I've got some dark here. I'm just going to take a chunk. And I'm going to scrunch that up. Put that one down there, that one down there. I want that to go underneath both of them. So I just need to be a little bit ambidextrous, and I want that sitting in there like that. That works, doesn't it? Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this little corner to the other one so that they are one and the same. A little bit of glue there. Take that out for a moment. Popping that there so that I've got that edge. That down there like so. Alright, so now I can take that away from the book. And I know I've got that little section in there to play with. And what I want is something like that. Flip that over. And I can pop a little bit of double-sided tape. If I can find what I just did with my double-sided tape. There it is. Just a little bit of double-sided tape. Without that bit. A little bit around there and a little bit up there, which will hold it all into place. Bit there. And a little bit down there. So that will then hold it. Give that a push. There it is. And now I've got that all bunched up in there, which is what I wanted. Okay. So this one is going to be a pocket. I wanted that one to be a pocket. That's why I didn't do that before, you know. Hang on. Watch. See the best laid plans of mice and men. This just gets rid of my glue. It'll mean it won't be as... I can always cut my other piece down. There it is. Look at that. There we go. All right. This one's going to be glued on. This one is just going to be glued here, here, and here. So this one will be glued on to start with. This one will be glued there. So I'm making him a little bit shorter now. So don't freak when you do something. There's always a way to fix it. Right there. That one's my pocket. This whole one will be adhered down. Thought that was a lot easier this time than how I did it the other time. Yeah, no. If it's ever that easy, there's a problem. Right. Bringing this back over. Oh. Working at that one first. It's my pocket. And that one will be glued straight on. If need be, fold them over, give them a flattening on that side. What do we got? 53 minutes, I'm doing well. So I should still have... Yep, look at that. Still got my pocket, which is what I wanted in the first place. Right, you know. Again, I've got another piece of scrap. And what I want to use this time are my bigger ones, which I had out. Oh. To these. So see how I'm bringing my pink in? So what I've got is my muted tones with the blue. I've brought the blue into this pink. And now I want to pop a journaling card in here. I'm using this, which is my muted tones with the pink. So it brings the whole three colours into place. We need to now measure how much we've got there. I reckon that's going to go to about there. So about 12. A bit under 5. Let's see how we go now that we're a little bit smaller. And what I want to actually do is I want this. I love this. I really love... Look, if we wanted to, we could use... Let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm going to chop off this one. Even though I've got that shoe. No, I don't have the shoe on that, so I can. Let's have a look. And that. We'll take off the top of that and then see what sort of size we've got. We might only need to trim a little bit off that, so that's fine. We'll make this one our size that we want. I want that so that the back of it is blue and we can write on the blue. It's just an old scrap of cardstock again that I found. And we'll pull this out. I need to trim this back to about there. Can't find my pencil. Oh, look, I had such a neat and tidy desk a minute ago before I started this. Where does that go to? Goes to about there. I can trim a bit further off if I need to, which is that bit. We'll trim that with the trimmer, make it nice and straight. Let's see how we go. Let's see if this is straight to start with as well. It's looking pretty good. See if that fits in or whether I need to make it smaller. A little bit smaller. It's also, oh no, there you go. I was going to say it's not straight, you know. It's getting better. Right, so that fits there. Doesn't go up as far as I wanted it to. That's okay. Right, let's have a look at how much we need to trim off this one. Not that much. I've only got a little bit each side. So what I'm going to do is glue that down with that gap either side. And we're done. Slide you there. Slide you there. Again, I'm going to pop my double-sided tape on the corners. So just 4 pieces. And then we'll use the glue stick. Down. Take those off. Might actually need my glue book. What do you reckon I did with it? Found it. It's all right. I found it. There it is. Not that glue. We'll go this glue. All the way over. Making sure we get our edges. All right. Take that one away. And we're going to go that side, but evened. Roundabout. Remembering our double-sided tape, because we've got the glue on there, will allow us to move a little bit. So I'm just lining up the top, and then I can stretch it down. And then we will wipe it down, making sure we've got no air bubbles. And then we'll trim it. Simple as that. Down there. And those 2 sides. And then, of course, this is me, so we're going to ink it. I could probably cut out, what, 10 minutes of my videos just by not inking. Right, so what I've now got is a little, just an interesting tidbit type thing. So they don't have to be the full sheets. They can just be part sheets. Look at that. So now when I pick this one up, pop it back in there, I've now got a journaling card. I've got some mess. How's that? Isn't that beautiful? It's sweet. It's delicate. So not me. I'm learning to work with colours. This is just so beautiful. And as I said, this is Tall Journaling Cards Set 1. One of their new ones. If you go into the website, use Kylie2024, you will get 25% off all their digitals. While you're there, grab yourself some freebies because they work in with these beautifully. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope you head off over to WhichCraft Do You Do's website. Check it all out. The link is below. Go down below into the description and that link will take you straight through. Otherwise, if you're watching on TV, grab your tablet, type in WhichCraft Do You Do, go to the website, have a look at their digitals. Thanks, guys. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.